Hey everyone, and welcome. Today we're diving into the pretty revolutionary science behind something we all deal with every single day, our emotions. I mean, what if that feeling of anger or happiness or even sadness? What if it's not something that just happens to you? What if it's something you're actually actively creating? We're about to unpack a completely new way of looking at your own mind. And get this, it's one that puts you firmly in the driver's seat. All right, so first things first, we got to talk about the story of emotions that most of us have been told our entire lives. And this isn't some hypothetical. This is a real, tragic example of how our cultural ideas about emotion can literally be a matter of life and death. Stereotypes about who gets anxiety and who gets a heart attack can lead to deadly misinterpretations of the exact same physical symptoms. So this is what's called the classical view. And, it feels intuitive, right? The idea that anger has a specific heart rate, a unique facial expression, and lives in a special anger part of the brain. This view basically says we're just along for the ride, that these ancient hardwired reactions are in control. But here's the kicker. When scientists actually went looking for the hard evidence to back this up, well, they came up empty. I mean, they measured everything: heart rate, breathing, blood pressure, you name it. All while people were feeling angry or scared or sad. They were hunting for that consistent biological fingerprint for each emotion. But they never found it. Turns out some people fume when they're angry, others cry. The physical responses were just all over the map. And let me tell you, this is a huge deal. It means that the idea that you can just look at someone's face and know for sure what they're feeling, it's a myth. There is no universal signature for anger or fear. Variation is the norm, not the exception. And it's not just our bodies, it's our brains too. The brain doesn't have these neat little emotion centers. There's no single fear circuit that just switches on. Instead, think of your brain's neurons like basic kitchen ingredients. Flour, eggs, water. You can use those same few ingredients to make a ton of different things, right? Bread, pasta, cakes. It's the same for your brain. It uses these core multi-purpose systems to build all sorts of different mental states, including emotions. Okay, so if emotions aren't these pre-programmed reactions, then what in the world are they? Well, this is where the science gets really, really cool. This brings us to the new big idea, the theory of constructed emotion, and it completely flips the script. It says your brain isn't just reacting to the world. No, it's actively predicting and making sense of everything that's going on, both inside your body and out in the world, to literally construct an experience we call an emotion. So how does it do that? Well, think of it like a recipe with 3 core ingredients. First, raw physical signals from your body. Scientists call this your body budget. It's basically just your body managing its energy resources. Second, the concepts you've learned from your culture, like the ideas of sadness or excitement. And third, your brain's constant stream of predictions, where it uses your past experiences to guess what those bodily sensations mean in this specific moment. And this really shows you what a massive shift this is. We're going from a world where emotions are just triggered to one where they are constructed, from universal to variable. We're moving from being a passive receiver of our feelings to being the active architect. It's the difference between being a passenger on a bumpy ride and actually being the pilot of the plane. Still trying to wrap your head around this? I get it. So think about a rainbow. In nature, it's just a continuous spectrum of light wavelengths, right? But we see distinct bands, red, orange, yellow, because our brains use the color concepts we've learned to carve up that spectrum. Your brain does the exact same thing with the continuous stream of sensations from your body to create distinct emotions. So what does this all mean for us, really? What does it mean to be the architect of your own experience? Well, it has some pretty profound implications for how we live our lives. This leads to a phenomenon called affective realism. Affect is just that simple background feeling you have all the time, from calm to agitated. Affective realism is when these feelings, these predictions your brain is making, get so powerful they actually shape what you perceive as objective reality. Your feelings don't just color your reality, they create it. In a super high-stress, high-stakes situation, a soldier's brain predicted a threat and constructed the sight of a weapon where there was only a camera. This wasn't a logical error. It was a genuine perception built from affect, and it had devastating consequences. That's the power of affective realism. But here's the most empowering part. If we construct our emotions, we have agency over them. So here's your architect's toolkit. First, manage your body budget with the basics: food, exercise, and sleep. Second, expand your emotional vocabulary. Having more precise words gives your brain more options than just sad or angry. And finally, practice recategorizing. A pounding heart doesn't automatically have to be anxiety. You can reframe it as your body getting ready for a challenge. And this right here is the core takeaway. Every feeling you have is a product of your brain making sense of sensation. It's not a reaction to the world outside, it's your brain's construction of your world inside. So, this new science hands you the blueprints and the tools. Now, it doesn't mean you can just snap your fingers and change how you feel, but it does mean you have the power to influence your future self, to start wiring your brain for a different kind of emotional life. The only question left is, what will you choose to build?